What if the killer was inside the house all along? Imagine the chilling realization that the very walls you consider safe could be harboring a sinister presence. The thought alone sends shivers down the spine, doesn't it? The idea that someone could be lurking in the shadows, watching your every move, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. It's the stuff of nightmares. And yet for the residents of Pine Brook, it became a horrifying reality. Buckle up for a thrilling ride. This is not just any mystery, it's a tale of deception, hidden secrets, and a betrayal that cuts deep. As we delve into the events that unfolded, prepare yourself for twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. The story of Rachel Turner is one that will haunt you long after the final revelation. It was a chilly autumn morning in Pine Brook when Officer Daniel Cruz received a frantic call, the kind of call that sends a jolt of adrenaline through your veins. The voice on the other end was trembling, filled with panic and desperation. It was Mrs. Turner, Rachel's mother, who had discovered her daughter missing. The usually serene town of Pine Brook was about to be shaken to its core. Rachel Turner, a young woman, had vanished. She was the kind of person who lit up a room with her presence, always smiling, always kind. Her disappearance left a void that was immediately felt by everyone who knew her. Friends and family were left in a state of shock, unable to comprehend how someone so full of life could simply disappear without a trace. Her locked front door and eerie silence set off alarm bells. The house, usually filled with laughter and warmth, now stood as a silent witness to a terrible crime. The front door was locked and there were no signs of forced entry. It was as if Rachel had simply vanished into thin air. But the truth was far more sinister. Inside, the house was undisturbed, except for Rachel's lifeless body in the bedroom, the door locked from the inside. The scene was eerily calm, almost as if time had stood still. Rachel lay on the floor, her eyes wide open, staring into nothingness. The room was immaculate, with no signs of a struggle. It was a puzzle that seemed impossible to solve. Enter Detective Sarah Mitchell, sharp-eyed and relentless. She was known for her keen instincts and unwavering determination. As she stepped into the house, she could feel the weight of the mystery pressing down on her. Every detail, every clue would be crucial in unraveling the truth behind Rachel's death. The cause of death? Blunt force trauma. The medical examiner's report confirmed that Rachel had been struck on the head with a heavy object. The blow was fatal, and there were no other injuries on her body. It was a calculated act, carried out with precision and intent. But who could have done such a thing? The mystery? How the killer entered and escaped without a trace. The locked door was a conundrum that baffled everyone. There were no signs of forced entry, no broken windows, no hidden keys. It was as if the killer had vanished into thin air, leaving behind no evidence of their presence. The more Detective Mitchell pondered over it, the more perplexing it became. A hidden passage, missed by everyone, led from the closet to the attic, then to the garage. It was a stroke of luck that Detective Mitchell stumbled upon it. The passage was cleverly concealed, blending seamlessly with the surroundings. It was clear that whoever had used it was familiar with the house's layout. This discovery was a breakthrough, but it also raised more questions. This was the killer's secret escape route. The passage led to the garage, providing a perfect means of escape. It was dark and narrow, with just enough space for a person to squeeze through. The killer had used it to slip away unnoticed, leaving behind no trace of their presence. It was a chilling realization that someone had planned this meticulously. But who knew about it? The hidden passage was not common knowledge. It was something that only a few people would be aware of. Detective Mitchell began to compile a list of potential suspects, focusing on those who had close ties to Rachel and her family. The investigation was about to take a dramatic turn. Rachel's best friend, Carla Hastings, had a dark secret. She had always been close to Rachel, but there was something about her that didn't sit right with Detective Mitchell. Carla was known for her fiery temper and had a history of volatile relationships. As the investigation progressed, it became clear that Carla had been hiding something. Resentment and rage boiled over when she confronted Rachel. The two had a heated argument, one that escalated quickly. Carla's jealousy and anger had been simmering for a long time, and it finally reached a boiling point. The confrontation turned violent, and in a fit of rage, Carla grabbed the nearest object, a heavy candlestick. In a fit of anger, Carla struck Rachel with a heavy candlestick and fled through the hidden passage, locking the bedroom door behind her. The act was impulsive, driven by a moment of uncontrollable fury. Carla had not planned to kill Rachel, but once the deed was done, she knew she had to cover her tracks. The hidden passage provided the perfect escape route. Carla's fingerprints, a caught thread, and her own confession closed the case. The evidence was irrefutable. Carla's fingerprints were found on the candlestick, and a thread from her clothing was caught on the door. Faced with the overwhelming evidence, Carla broke down and confessed to the crime. The case was closed, but the scars it left on the community would take a long time to heal. The quiet town of Pine Brook would never be the same, haunted by the locked door mystery and the deadly betrayal hidden behind closed doors. The once peaceful town was now a place of sorrow and loss. The residents would always remember Rachel and the tragic events that led to her untimely death. The locked door mystery had been solved, but the pain of betrayal lingered, a constant reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind even the most familiar faces.
Make sure to subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon, and like the video.